dream is starting. The captain coder at the helm. Bean water is ready. Today we will learn a lot. He loves the questions, he loves to sing. Join our Discord and follow him.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you happen to be in the world. Captain Coder here on this beautiful Wednesday. It's a little weird being here on a Wednesday. Usually, I don't have all my lights on either. Usually, or at least last year, I was doing Tuesday. They're so bright in here, Captain. The light wasn't even on, Dramokes. The light wasn't on. It felt dark in here. I was thinking it was dark in here. Dram, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the stream, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It's so nice to see all of you here. Dram, Poo Stack G, it's nice to have you here. Seshu Mara, welcome back to the stream. The TIC-80. Let's take a look at what is the TIC-80. My music's too loud in my ears. Alchemy, welcome back. TIC-80 is a fantasy console, it's a fake computer, a fake emulated computer that has all the limitations of your old consoles as far as graphics and audio go, but all of the power of modern CPU and RAM. So you can check. I should have made a command for this. You can check out Tofu Land, which is what the project I made for my students here. So we got this retro game. And so here is the TIC-80. It's this little retro computer, has this style of graphics. Let me redo the keybinds here. Set up gamepad, W, S, A, D, W, SAD controls, U and B. Let's go ahead and save that mapping here. Let me turn on the desktop audio so you can hear the music that comes with the game. Oh no, can you guys hear that? Is it coming through okay? Feels quiet on my end. Alchemy, how you doing, friend? How you doing, friend? All right, so we made this platform here. 8-bit music, yeah. 8-bit music uses it's essentially synthesized music. And so it's all built into there. If you guys want to play the game, you can find it there. But we made this game last week. This is the game we made last week for my students. I had my first class yesterday. The students loved playing through this and editing the graphics, editing the levels, and just learning a little bit about retro games and what that entails. So it has this. The thing that's really cool is it sort of has all this stuff built in. It has a built-in code editor. So it has a built-in code editor here, so you can edit the code directly in here. It has a sprite editor, so the sprite editor here. So you have limited memory for your sprites. Technically, you have limited memory for your code, so your program code can only have so many bytes. So this one, in this case, it is 65 kilobytes of space for your source code, which it's kind of a weird limitation. In my mind, I have the pro version now. The pro version, that limitation doesn't exist. But we have our sprite editor. So you have two sprite sheets here. You have background and foreground sprites. You have a built-in map editor, which ends up being 1920 by 1080 pixels wide. Or is it 1920 by 1080 cells wide? I can't remember now. I think it's cells, 1980. Let's see, because each one is 30. Oh, no, 30 by 17 cells. Yeah, 30 by 17 cells. So it has a map editor built into it. So you can use this map editor to make your levels, design your levels using your sprites. It has a sound effects editor built in, so you can make different sound effects. Here, and then the music tracker is built in as well. And so there's limitations on how much you get. For me to understand, these built-in editors were coded also by you, or did they come from the factory? So this project is an open source project. I did not write this code yet. So TIC-80 is here's the coolest part. It's completely open source. I do have the source code on my computer. I have played around with the source code. I'm planning Depending on how my class goes this year, how much I like TIC-80, how much my students like it, I really have started to like Lua as a learning language. I think it's really quite nice. The source code's here. Yeah, just the editors. This editor I did not write. The TIC-80, I did not create this editor. Those editors are part of the TIC-80 project. The source code's completely open. Yeah, I didn't make them. They just come with the project. They come with it, so you get it. It runs in the web browser, which is one of the coolest parts of this project. My students don't have to download anything to do stuff with it. You can. There's a version you can download. So the last 2 weeks, the last week, maybe it's just been a week. I'm pretty sure the Tofu Land we'd only been working on for about a week. I've been doing a little bit of stuff. I think 6 or 7 days on Tofu Land. And so I'm done with that class now, and I've had so much fun. I've just been extending my my knowledge into TIC-80, just playing around with it. I've been really enjoying Lua. You can do many languages in it as well. Captain Coder org, and I've been playing around with my TIC dungeon. Welcome back, Code Monk. Hope you're having a beautiful day. And so I am working on, I started playing around with this. Let's see, bash TIC-80. So launch TIC-80 here. I have made this little dungeon crawler. I've been working on this dungeon crawler in TIC-80 here. And so over here you can see sort of the top-down view of the map. Nerd Waffle, welcome to back. Alchemy, I wanted to ask for your demos and everything. Is there a VOD or YouTube video so I can see the format? Yeah. Alchemy, it's pretty straightforward, but there should, let's see if I can go find, I do have them in the archive. Let's go find them though. That's Cappy Cap. I'm glad you did it too. I'm glad you did it. If you come over to, let's see, do I have playlists for them? You can find, here's October's community showcase. Here's October's community showcase. We also had September's community showcase. Yeah, so these are uploaded there. You should be able to find them back there. Lance, welcome back to the stream. How you doing, friend? It's nice to see you. Basically, Alchemy, the way it works, you submit a project on the Discord. Submit a project on the Discord. You come on to the stream. You chat with me, you show off your project, I'll use your project. If you don't want to join me on stream, I do ask that you send your project a little bit early so I can kind of familiarize myself with it, but I'm happy to show it off, give you my feedback as well as the community feedback. Proton, thank you for the doy. I've been really enjoying it, Nerd Waffle. I have absolutely been enjoying it. If I wasn't enjoying it, I would be doing something else right now. Now, I should probably be working on my class stuff, but I was like, you know what, I'm just going to have some fun here. I'm just going to have some fun. I like it, but I'm not sure I want to teach people with the array starting indexing at 1. So that is one of my complaints. There's a few complaints I have. A few complaints. It's really not that bad to teach that. The complaint I have, the complaint I have is that TIC-80, all of the biggest thing that is annoying is that TIC-80 indexes things by 0. So everything built into TIC-80 indexes things by 0, but Lua indexes things by 1. And so that is really annoying. That is really annoying. That said, if you want to use TIC-80, it supports all of these languages. All of these languages, most of which don't index by 1. Most of which don't index the wrong buttons. I'm trying to do this here. Most of these don't index by 1. Ruby doesn't index by 1. JavaScript doesn't index by 1. I've never used Moon. Scheme doesn't index by 1. Python doesn't index by 1. I'm not sure. WASM doesn't. I've never used Squirrel. So you have all these other ones. Lance, I'm playing hooky. No, I meant I should probably be working on a school project right now, but I'm not because I'm just having too much fun. I'm using this as an excuse. I'm using it as an excuse here It doesn't support Rust. That's true, Code Monk. It's true. I should probably, man, maybe I'll do some stuff in Rust. Maybe I'll do some stuff in Rust. Rust is fun. Oh, that coffee is so good. Look, I'm doing the life boost. Rust isn't a scripting language. It's true, it's not a scripting language. For what it's worth, gee, WASM isn't the scripting language either. But it's still supported. Hat. I noticed the same. Check my 3D tick. What did you notice? What when you say you noticed the same? Oh, just the indexing. Did you send me an updated copy, Proton? Did you send me an updated copy of your 3D.tick? Muniz, thank you for the first, and also Muniz, welcome back. It's so nice to have the whole crew here. The whole crew here, folks. Any day I can wake up and code is a beautiful day. Oh, just indexing from one, yeah, it's, Lua's a little bit, I'm not a fan of indexing by one. That said, it doesn't really annoy me all that much. It doesn't annoy me all that much. To know if I'll have anything ready for the showcase, no worries, but we'll keep working on things. I'm porting over my large world distant travel code from the Unity to Godot. Nice. So there is a showcase coming up next Saturday, January 20th, community showcase. If you want to show off something you've been working on, the captain wants to see it, and you can sign up. You can share your work with us. January 20th, just hop on over to the Discord. Under the live stream section, there's the showcase Saturday, January 20th. Hop in here, post it. We already got 6 people signed up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, or 6 projects. 5 people, 6 projects signed up. I'm super excited about it. You should be too, because it's your chance to show what you've been doing for the captain to see. But come on down, we'll check it out. Okay, so what am I working on today? I would like to extend this. So G pointed out that the 7-day roguelite, is it roguelike or roguelite? I gotta get a clarification here. 2024. It's coming up. I was playing around doing this Atlas thing here. Just doing an Atlas here. Look at all those points, Code Monk. Building up. I won't be available on the 20th. That's okay, Moonness. That's okay. The show shall go on. Whatever you're doing on the 20th, I hope you're having fun. Whatever it is, I hope it's fun. Roguelike. Okay, so I would like to make a roguelike. So my question is, does this meet the category of roguelike? Can I do a dungeon crawler? Absolutely. Every language has its ups, and every language has its downs. Every language has its ups and downs. And so I actually really like Lua. We had a Mooniz exclusive like a few days ago. It's true. We did have the Mooniz. The moon was here. We had the moon on folks, and it was exciting. And Mooniz, I appreciate you coming in to do that. What have you been working on, Mooniz? All right, in 2005. Let's read here. In 2005, the roguelike community established a yearly event, the 7DRL Challenge, in which developers are challenged to create a roguelike in 7 days. This allows one to have the shared misery of knowing you are not the only one rushing to patch game-breaking bugs at the 167th hour. The annual event occurs during a week in early March. The 7DRL challenges are not about being fast coder, but rather proving you can release a finished, playable roguelike to the world. There is no winner of the challenge. Only a win. No, there is no winner of the challenge, but rather all those who finish are honored for their work. The main criterion is completeness. The goal is building a finished, reasonably polished game, not the prototype of a game. Watch your scope. Likewise, the goal is a new game, not just another week of working on an existing game. There are many interpretations of what a roguelike is, which may serve as a guide. As organizers, our baseline definition of roguelikes is procedurally generated RPGs in the mold of Rogue, with turn-based interactions in a grid-based environment, where levels are procedurally generated each playthrough and death is permanent, just like in real life. However, 7 DRLs may bend or even break these interpretations in the name of innovation. So my question, basically, I think it'll work. I think I want to do a grid-based, a first-person perspective, essentially. Let's see here. Moodin says, I've worked a bit on my map system. That's about it. The map wasn't in the version the captain was testing. Gotcha. Very cool. Gotcha. Mooning in Earth. Look, we're mooning on the moon. All right, so I built this out here. I'd never implemented an atlas before. So it's fun to go through. I kind of wish I'd done it on stream. I didn't do it on stream. But we have what is, I believe, a pretty wide perspective for a 1, 2, 3. Is that actually that wide? 1, 2, 3. A pretty wide perspective. Perspective? Is that the right word? Perspective? Why does the word perspective? The art of drawing saw the particular way. Yeah, perspective. You have a pretty wide perspective. You can see things. You can see up to 5 tiles, like the edges of 5 tiles in the distance. So you see 3 in front of you. If you get all the way close, right, you have this depth perception. Perspective. I don't know. Look, words are hard. I'm not a wordologist, folks. Words are hard. You can see that as you get closer, though, you lose the depth there. But you can see the edge of the walls there. The edge of the walls. So you can see a whole 3x3 room, which I feel is pretty wide for a lot of dungeon crawlers. I'm not sure. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But you can sort of see that there's a space for 2 over here, like this. Field of view is the common gaming term for this, I guess. Yeah, field of view. Thank you. It's not 3D. It's not 3D. So I'm doing something I consider kind of clever, but I really enjoyed it. You'll notice these numbers down here are referring this screen here. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button. There it is. This screen is actually sliced. Let's get rid of that cursor here. The screen is actually sliced like this. So there's these different segments that get drawn. Here. And this particular setup uses 7 segments. Isn't it field of vision? It might be. Field of view perspective sounds wrong to me. But we have these sections of the view here getting rendered. Cat, pause stream, I have to go make coffee. All right, folks, we're gonna let Nerd Waffle's gonna be back. We'll be back. Nerd Waffle, we'll see you soon. Grab your coffee, come on back. We'll see you in a minute. But yeah, we have these slices. Like this. And what is really cool, and I've always wanted to do this, I've never done it before, is it's actually set up in this way. So the slices here are actually built in this manner. So we have all of them sliced out, I guess is the word here, to show these are what could appear in each one of those segments. And I sort of spread it out here. It's field of view. Gotcha, field of view. And so it's spread out in this way. It's a little bit harder to see what's going on here. And so these numbers down here are actually the calculated indices that it's using for each segment. And I think this is really cool. I had a lot of fun writing this and programming it. And those end up being calculated, and I may not be doing it in a very intelligent way, but maybe I am, maybe I'm not, based on the, that is very clever, nice work. I wish I was smart enough to have come up with this idea. Other people have done this, but this implementation is fully my own. I didn't use any external implementation for it. I came up with my own. It might be fun to go look at it, but now we have, it's basically being calculated, it is being calculated based on the cells in front of you. So let me show you that code real quick. And so if we come into our minimap file here, our minimap file actually builds up all of the cells So there's this thing called visible cells. These are the cells that are in front of the player. These are the cells that are in front of the player. And so we build up a mapping based on the direction the player's facing. So down here is P. This is the way we're assuming the player's facing forward, and we pull out all the cells in front of the player, and we actually end up pulling out a pretty wide. I started out doing a very small perspective, just these ones here, and I said, you know what, I want to make it wider here. And so we actually pull out, it goes all the way out. It sort of goes in this cone-like fashion, a cone here. And so the player actually has peripheral vision here and here, all right? But really there's this line, and because your vision does this too, your field of view, there's a cone that comes out like this. There's a cone that comes out like this from the center of this, and I said, oh, that's how I want to do it. So I believe we can see forward. We can see 3 cells in front of us, and you can see all the way to the wall. So it's the edge of the 4th one. And then you actually can see forward and then to the left, 1, 2. You can actually see the wall that is all the way in this position here. And we can find that if I come out to a sort of more open area. Do I have an open area here? Yeah, I left a kind of open area here. You can see that here. You can see the edge of these walls out here, which gives us that depth. And then this wall shows up here. So you have these 3 walls. You actually see this. This might be a little bit of a bug, actually. Should I be able to see? Yeah. So it should be going around the... Interesting. I'm not sure. It makes it look like the room ends here. The perspective might be wrong here. I might not want to include this wall in that. Is that correct part of the field of view? I think it might actually be, and it's just an interesting side effect that you can't. Because I should be able to see this, but from where I'm standing, I catch the edge of that. Yeah. Is that right? So we should be seeing the edge here. My perspective's not right. It's a fine perspective. I'm seeing this wall here. Which I'm not sure if I actually want to see or not. Eileen Rude, thank you there. I'm seeing... Oh, you're right. If I was facing this way, there we go. It is correct. All right. Eileen Rude, thank you so much. I'm not seeing it. I was seeing this wall here, which happens to be this corner. Okay, I had it right. I almost lost. Get myself confused because it's the direction I'm facing. Eileen, thank you. And happy Wednesday. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, so the cool thing about this is we can create different tiles, different colors, different shading effects on these in our map and have them applied here. So I'm having fun with this. I would like to now, so you can sort of see these walls too as you get closer. It's a little flatter here because it's dark. We assume that it's dark in our dungeon, so we just can't see that far. And we might add in, so some stuff we could do is you could actually make these cells a little darker. We could add different textures to them to make them darker when they're further away to give you even more depth to them. So these are actually further. We can make them a darker gray color rather than this light gray. It's just very simple, and as you get closer, it'll light up and maybe even have a little bit of a glow or an animation to it when you're this close to make it look like you're holding a torch. But that's not what we're going to do today. I actually want to create a procedurally generated map here. I want to procedurally generate our map. And we've done this before in C# and in Unity. We've done it a little bit differently. We're going to do it this time in Lua. We're going to do it this time in Lua. Gonzo, welcome back to the stream. Happy Wednesday, my friend. Welcome back. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Are we making Kappenstein 3D? No. We are going to make Honestly, I just want, I need an excuse. I need an excuse to use my epic music. We could do procedurally generated sounds too. We're not doing that, but you can do that in the TIC-80 without a ton of trouble. You can peek and poke into the sound effects memory. You could do procedurally generated sound effects. That would be interesting. But yeah, I want to procedurally generate our map here. I want to write a program that'll procedurally generate a map. And so I'm trying to understand what are the pain points. What are the pain points of using TIC-80 and Lua here? What are the pain points that we'll run into as we do this stuff? What am I seeing here? I'm seeing these two walls and the edge of this one. Yeah, so I can't see down that hallway. It's so cool. I'm really happy with the perspective I came up with. Part of me wants to go even make it the field of view slightly even bigger, but that's okay. I'm having fun just walking around. Do you ever write a project? Do you ever finish a project and you've it's so fun, the final result, that you have trouble? Is this Raycast? No, this is not Raycast. Good question, Gonzo. I am using an Atlas. So all of my this is sliced into 7 segments. So this is the leftmost segment. This is the segment right next to it. This is the segment next to that. This is the center segment. And so it's sort of broken down into segments like this. And then we calculate the index use. So you'll see these slices down here, these numbers. These are the indexes that we used based on our perspective of where we are and where the walls around us are. So as I move around, these change. So if for example, if I get super close here, the middle segment here is 1. And if we come over into our editor here, you'll see the middle segment here is 3 wide, and it's this cell. This is the cell that we're playing. So what's essentially happening is we say, okay, well, this is the center segment, segment 1. All right, so we pull that out and we render it over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Let's go back to my game. Oh, it didn't go back to my game. That was a little bit of annoying. Then we might have, all right, so let's look at this one then. We have 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 3, 1. Take a screenshot of that. Actually, let me go get this. I like this perspective a little bit better. All right, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this so we can see what's happening. Copy to clip, open an image editor. So we can have it side by side here. So we have, and I'll shrink it down just a little bit. Does it scale with us? It does not. So we have 5, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 5. 5, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 5. BK, I'm doing absolutely beautiful, my friend. I'm never able to do that. It happens. Peace on Mars, it happens. This is why game jams are really nice. This is why hackathons are nice. Set arbitrary deadlines that force you to finish. And we have that screenshot there. And so I'll show it to you, Gonzo. So the way this works, and peace on Mars, I hope you're having a beautiful day. So let's go up to my first, I'm gonna delete this. We're gonna start over. I'm gonna delete this out of here. The way this works, that's weird. The way this works is we have 5. So I come up here to the first. This is my atlas for my first section, and I select 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's this one. 5 here. We select this one. This becomes the leftmost. This is index 0 here. Now we need to select 2, 0, 1, 2. So we pull this one out, and it comes here. All right. This one's 2, so we go down to our third segment, 0, 1, 2. This is our third segment. And it gets placed here. 1 is this one, 0, 1. That would be this one here. This one happens to be 3 wide. We paste that in here. The next one is a 2. So we come down, if I pop down here, we're down on this one, 2. 0, 1, 2. We still this one. paste it in here. This one is a 2 as well. 0, 1, 2 happens to be this section. We put it in here. And then the last one is a 5. And so that happens to be this one. And then we build up that view now. That view, so we have a wall that's directly in front of us, and then there's 2 hallways on either side. Symmetry was planned or happy accident? Happy accident. I happened to be in that spot on the map. So I happened to be unintentional. I happened to be facing on my map here. I happened to be looking at this wall, so it just works. Yeah, so this is called an atlas technique. A lot of older games used this technique to give you this 3D feel without having any sort of actual raycast, because older systems weren't able to do it. We could probably do it on the TIC-80 here. But yeah, so our atlas builds up that way. So in this case, down here at the bottom, sort of our debug information, when you see we have 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 3, 1. So each combination of these will produce a different view. And then I have code here. I couldn't think of a better name, but we have cells A through G. And then there's just basically this code here for cell A. It says, if there's a wall directly to our left, we're gonna see that wall. That's this index 1. It's blocking anything else that we might see off in the distance. It blocks. If there's a wall there to our left, it actually blocks that field of view. If it's a 2, if we have a wall forward and to the left, we get 2. Forward, left, we get a 3. Next is the forward, left, forward, left. And so this determines it. These ones here, the ones sorted towards the top, actually cancel out first because they block anything that might be further back. So the order here is really important. We want to check left first, because if that was there, it's going to actually block the view of other things. And so it was really interesting to write this code. And again, I was aware of this technique. I've never implemented it myself, and I went ahead and implemented it. It was really fun to do. I started out doing a much smaller perspective, much smaller field of view, where you could only see basically cells directly in front and around you. And then I said, okay, well, what would it take to increase my field of view here? And to increase my field of view, so here's a good spot to look at it. To increase my field of view, I drew a cone that was going out at 45, I think at 45 degree angle, which isn't quite what human. I think 60 would be the correct human view. I keep hitting that button. I'm gonna hit this one. And so there's a cone that comes out here this way, like that, in front of us. Essentially would see the edge of this one here. And so you'll see here, I actually get this field of view. I have this little lip here on this wall. I have the depth of this wall here. This wall I'm seeing head on, so I can't see any, it's just straight head on. I see the hole here. I see that there's a hole here. And then I also see just the edge of this one. So my field of view increases as I go further out. So I can see directly in front of me, I can see just the edges of walls. So if I go over to directly to a wall, my field of view is much smaller here. Here, I just barely see that. Again, let's draw that in here. This angle should probably be blocked here, but it's a little bit cheating. But we're actually seeing, I believe we are seeing this wall over here. When we see this one here, that's actually that wall there. Just because of how the field of view, you can kind of peek around the corners a little bit. And so it worked out pretty nice. We have pretty wide here room. Again, the original one, we could only see one space. So you'd see this one space, that'd be all you see. If you were here, you'd see the edges. But I sort of zoomed out, said I want to be able to see a little bit more. So super fun, but having a great time working on it. I want to procedurally generate now. I want to be able to generate these dungeons. And we're going to try and do it the TIC-80 way, in a way that utilizes TIC-80 to do something interesting. So for example, this map is actually drawn here directly in TIC-80. And I have two cells. I have a wall cell and then I have a floor cell. That's sort of how it's set up here. What I'd like to do is do something clever. I want to do something clever, and I don't know if I can do it. But I want to define different types of, I want to have sprites here that are actually going to define types of rooms that we can actually connect. So I'm not going to carve out a maze. I'm not going to carve out a maze. You could carve out a maze, but what I kind of want to do is set it up so that sprites represent small pieces of a dungeon, and the pixel colors inside of the sprites will actually represent walls. So I want to be able to do something like this, where I have just a single cell here. I want to try to do something kind of interesting. A single cell here might actually represent a hallway, or a series of hallways. So we might actually end up with something like this, where it says, okay, this is a segment that can be generated, and these are the door connections here. These are the door connections here. And this, when this gets selected, it will actually generate a room that is much bigger in the world. So it actually generates a room that's much bigger, but we can sort of combine these together. And I think this needs to be what I'm going to stick to for now is that the walls, the doors must appear. One second. For now, to make it simple, I'm going to make my doors appear only on these cells here. Only on these cells. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Get rid of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So my doors will only appear in this configuration, like so. But I could end up with segments that don't have all the doors. All right, so my door will be like that, and so I'll have a border. Each segment will sort of get generated like this. We could potentially have those doors in other places, but to make it easy for them to connect, it'll be a little bit easier. So we might generate a room. This room feels like it's going to be too big, though, like this. And so we might generate a room that has some stuff in it. So it'll have some pillars. All right, so let's start out by using this. Let's take this cell and turn it into a room on our map. So I want to take this cell and turn it into a room on our map. So this happens to be 1, and I'm going to start in the bottom right corner, or the bottom row maybe. So what I want to do is we scan every pixel of this sprite and use it to generate a bigger room. Okay. So that's where I want to start. So I need to do something a little bit, I need to be able to read in this sprite information. So I'm going to create a new Lua file here. Generator. I'm going to call it generator. And so I'm learning about Lua as I go as well. So local generator. This is our library generator. It's how we make modules in Lua. At the end, you return it. So I'll be able to use this in our main file here by saying generator equals require generator. So this will actually load this file as a module here. And my generator, what I want to do is I just want to have a function generator dot debug is what I'm going to call it here. It's going to be our main function. All I'm going to do for now is print hello world in our main here. And so I can come down into my main program here, dungeon.lua. I'm going to say get rid of all of this, get rid of these things, and I'm just going to do generator.debug like this. I'll reload this and I get hello world. So now that is the code that's running every frame. That is the code that's running every frame. What I'm going to do next here is I want to pull in. Bring up my TIC-80. I want to pull in this. You fiddling with the innards of TIC-80? No, not yet. Not yet. I've done a little bit of fiddling with TIC-80. I am currently, I do have it set up to where I'm connected to VS Code, and I am utilizing multiple Lua files. So I do have it doing that. It turns out I didn't have to modify the TIC-80 source code to do that. But in the full, the pro version, the compiled version, you can work directly with Lua files. In the editor, there's no way for me to access those other files. So directly in TIC-80, there's no way for me to access it. So the type of thing I want to do, I want to modify TIC-80's code to make its code editor have a file browser, so you can actually have multiple files in it. And I think I want to make it so when you go full screen on the map editor, these things don't scale up to the full screen. I want to make these not scale up to full screen. So if you go full screen, these will still be this size, but you'll have a much bigger canvas to work with. Those are some of the things I want to do. Hey, Owen, welcome back to the stream. How you doing, friend? Did not realize there was an open source equivalent. It's called Topeka. It's TIC-80. TIC-80 open source. I have the source code here. We compiled this on Windows. Very, very cool program. I'm teaching a class on Lua. I've been having a lot of fun. I normally don't like dynamic languages, but there's something about Lua. I really like. I think I love the simplicity of Lua. There's no bells and whistles. It's just incredibly simple. It's incredibly terse. It's incredibly tiny. No bells and whistles. I think I like it. Some of the things I dislike is everything's global by default, and I don't think I like that. I think things, in my mind, things should be local by default, then you put a global on it to make it. That would be my preference, but that's okay. There's a typed version. There's a version of Lua that has types that I think I'm gonna see if I can get to work. I just haven't spent it. Going global, Mr. Worldwide. It's true. It's true. So in here, this sprite represents something special. I should probably make a door. I should make a door as well. Here, let's duplicate this. Let's make a little door. We need a new set of colors too, I think. But we're gonna do a door. It's interesting is how brown this can look in these contexts. If I make it a little wider, is that okay? Isn't it crazy that this orange color, the optical illusion that your brain does, this orange looks brown when it's next to those grays. It's a really, really good color palette. And when we put this in there, it does, make a little door here. It blows my mind a little bit. How good the color palette is. It's like almost too good. Anyone says, coming to the end of my 2-job interview cycles. Hopefully I'll get an offer. And other news, I'm back running on my CRPG engine. Very cool. Is this, Owen, is this still doing it in like, you were using, what was it called? The, I want to call Z80. Is that what you were using? But yeah, we're just, this is going to be a door now. We don't have doors yet, but still using Z80. Gotcha. Very cool. We're going to do procedurally generated maps. We're going to do procedurally generated maps. This represents one of the rooms that can be generated. It's going to represent one of the rooms that can be generated. Okay. And let us... Currently, the scripting language is basic, but I'd like to make it scriptable in Lua at some point. I've been loving the simplicity of Lua. But like, there's some things about it that aren't perfect. All right, but we're going to create a variable here called rooms. local rooms is equal to, and then in here, I think we're gonna do maybe arrays of it. For now, I'm gonna do just 496. 496. All right. Let's go with let's make a thing called basic, or 4-door. 4-door. And it's gonna equal ID is 496. This needs to be like this. There we go. And we might end up, we'll go with the width equals 1, height equals 1 for now. 496. I'm imagining we might create some slightly bigger ones, but maybe I'm over engineering. Let's just go with ID equals 496 like this. Rooms, 4-door, 496. And that way we can access it here. I want to pull this sprite in and I want to see, can I examine it pixel by pixel? And the way we're gonna do this is using the TIC-80's API to understand how do we peek into memory at this position. I'm actually using a basic to Z80 compiler written in Python. Fascinating. But I'm planning to modify it into a Lua to Z80 compiler, although it will only be a subset of the language. But first I need to learn Lua and Python. Lua is incredibly simple. Incredibly simple. It feels, people might hate me for saying this. I think C is is an incredibly simple language. Lua reminds me of the C programming language in the simplicity of it. How terse and how tiny and how small it is and how straightforward. You don't have a lot of options. You don't have a lot of options. Not a bunch of extra libraries. You don't have a bunch of different types of collections. You have tables. They call them tables, which are basically, Lua is usually implemented as a C library, so that makes sense. It's super embeddable. I'm really excited about learning it. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I do. My students wanted me to learn it. All right, so here, I want to pull out, how do I examine the cells in the sprite? So let's come in here and look. Can I share my little blog post? Absolutely. Discord's probably the best way to do it, but you can post a link to it here if you'd like as well. I probably won't look at it on stream right now. We do have a showcase coming up if you want us to take a look at it on the showcase as well. But I would recommend, if you want me to read it, post it on the Discord and I'll take a look. I don't want to get too distracted right now. Thanks. Perfect. But you feel free to post a link to it in the chat here too. If anyone's interested, they can check it out there. I want to go to our wiki here. There's a peek. I need to look at where things are stored in RAM. So I can go look at the pixels in here. So our sprites memory, where are sprites stored? Persistent memory. Why isn't sprites here? There. Sprites are stored at this position. This position in memory. So we can go peek into memory here. So create a variable local sprite adder. Is this value. We can look into memory at this address. Here's the other thing I love about the TIC-80. You can teach some really low-level concepts about addressing it, peeking and poking into memory and accessing memory in really fun and cool ways. So we know it's this cell here. And every sprite is 8x8, 4-bit foreground sprites. Thank you so much for sharing, Aowen. Wave function collapse, maps generation, Mizzard. I'm not going to do wave function collapse. No, I'm going to do a different version of procedural generation, or maybe it is wave function collapse. And I don't know. I don't think I'm doing wave function collapse. Collapse generation. I don't think I'm going to do it. Let me explain how I'm going to do it. So and maybe I could be wrong. These are connection points. So we're gonna have rooms here where there's connection points, and you place a sort of a seed cell somewhere, and then you say, okay, for each connection point, randomly select something to connect to, or seal the end, or seal that connection. That's sort of how it will work. And then it sort of expands out. So I might have another room here off to the side. I think these need to I would have to have, we might have a hallway as an option. So a hallway would look like this. And it would sort of zig up. That's the idea here. So you might have a hallway. And so this hallway, you could have a couple variations of it as well. All right. So this hallway might get generated and connected to the end, and then you put another room on the far end of it as well. Oh, and this needed to be up one actually, and this down. Can I just do a flip? There we go. So you will end up with connections like this in your map. Does that make sense, Mizzard? So I'm not doing a wave function collapse. I don't think this is wave function collapse. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Flurkin and the Flurkin. Welcome to the stream, Flurkin. Oh, Flurkin. Thank you for following me today. Oh, Flurkin. Oh, Flurkin. Welcome to the crew today. Draco, thank you so much for all the first. It's broken. It's broken. Get the super bonus points. You were 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, all the way through. Draco just stealing all the points. Flurkin, I hope you're having a beautiful day. Welcome to the stream, my friend. And A. Owen, thank you so much for sharing that. I'm gonna pin that up there real quick. Let's do. I'm gonna pin it there so it's saved for a little bit. Give me just a second. No, you shouldn't, because it'll just kill the stream. It'll kill the chat. No one will be able to see anything. Yeah. Aon Dev wrote a blog post about Lua. There it is. We'll pin that just for a moment. 20 minutes, leave it up there. Wait, so you can claim points with first multiple times? Yeah, it's broken, Poo Stack. It's broken. You can get, I want to try it out. It's broken. It goes forever. It goes forever. Yeah, it's broken. It's supposed to stop if you've already done it once. But the array that keeps track of people, for some reason, when Firebot updated, it doesn't work anymore. But yeah, Flurkin, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Look at that slick back hair. I'm getting my hair. I need to get a haircut. What's happening is my hair is getting unwieldy and out of control. And to keep it from going in my eyeballs, I have to oil it up and slick it back and keep it from getting dry. I need a haircut. Profit, you gonna come give me a haircut? Thought you had a GQ photo shoot. No, I'm not that cool. Board game redeem. Board game and TIC-80 using Lua. All right, Draco redeeming a board. Let's do a quick save here. Captain into a mobster. I know, Captain Mobster. All right, folks. You can do a board game later. I need to go. All right, Draco, remind me when you get back. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you next time. Yeah, but maybe we'll do a board game in TIC-80 at some time. That'd be cool. All right. So the idea here is these pixels. I was showing it off, my students. So I had the first day of class for some students, and I do an AMA in the class. For introduction, I do an AMA, and my students ask, what is your favorite game? And so the Descent box is just sitting next to me on the floor here, because my students asked what my favorite game was, and I pulled it off the shelf. So you're correct, it did move. It's right here, though. It's right here. Here, we'll put it back. It's just, here we go. Steady. There we go. It's back. You feel, is that better? You better. Just in case, yeah. Keep track of it. Look, you're good eye. Okay, so I want to peek into memory at this sprite. We're gonna pull out each of the cells, each of its cells here. Okay, so we want to, this is our address into memory. So we need to do a peek at sprite address. And this should, I believe, this is going to give us back the top left cell here. I'm pretty sure it just reads left to right into array, and we'll keep incrementing. But let's do a little quick look here. So we need to increment 1, 2. Oh, it's actually going to be the top left cell here. We need to add in plus 496 times 8 times 8, so times 64, because each one of these has 64 pixels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, times 64. I believe this should get us the top left. Can we poke? I don't know if we can poke. I think you could poke, but it'd be hard to see at runtime. All right, we're gonna do top left here, and let's do a print. We're just gonna print top left. 0, 0, 1. 12 is our white color, actually. All right, let's see there. We got 0, so that it did not do what I wanted. Did not do what I wanted there. It's interesting. Let's just peek into our sprite address, and I'm gonna set this to a 1, just to see what we get back. Okay, so I have that right. My indexing was off though. My indexing was off. If I do +1, do I get whatever color this is, which was 0, 1, 2, 3. I get 61. 61, that's interesting. I don't understand that. When I did straight into there, I got... Hang on, am I just printing something weird? What is 60? Oh, it's like, I'm getting 60. That is giving me more information. That's giving me more information. So 1 here just happened to be 12. When I had the 60, when I bet it's giving me 3 pixels at a time, or something, some number of pixels at a time. When I do a peak, let's look at how much data does peak give us? Give us a whole byte, I'm assuming. Peak. Let's go look at peak. We have peak 4, peak 1, peak 2. Peak. We can say how many bits we want. Okay. The address you desire to read, segmented based on bits. Okay, so this cell here is 1 bit, but it's up to 16. I'm a little confused here. I'm a little confused here on how to read this information out. Kuwani, welcome back to the stream, my friend. Have you tried Raylib to create a game? I have not used Raylib. I know that Andres Sasdev is creating a game library. Let's give a shout out. They're making a game using Raylib and C#. So building from scratch. So you should give, if you're interested in seeing someone work on that, give them some love. And Kuwani, welcome back to the stream, my friend. Nice to have you here. But incredible developer over on there, doing some stuff with Raylib. I haven't done anything with Raylib yet. I'm trying to understand how many. I bet it's giving me back a full byte. So I only need 16. What is that? 2 to the 3, 2 to the 3, 2 to the 3, 2 to the 4. So 4 here. I only need half a byte. So I only need 4 bits. I've used Godot engine. I really like Godot. The main thing that's keeping me from using Godot. The main thing that's keeping me from using Godot is the build support for C# is limited to, I believe, desktop and maybe one other spot. You cannot do web builds with Godot if you are using C#. As a computer science teacher, I do not want to teach not that there's anything wrong with GDScript. I want to teach my students general purpose programming languages. So Lua is a general purpose programming language. I mostly I like C#. It's sort of my go-to language for teaching programming. Lua, most of the students have already done some programming. So Lua is sort of like the second language many of them will be learning, or maybe at least the second. One of the things I struggle with Godot is teaching GDScript means we're teaching a DSL, domain-specific language. It only works with Godot. You can't really use it anywhere else, even though it's kind of like Python. It's very focused. I would much rather teach using C#, and until the web support is there, I can't use it, or I won't use it. It's not that I can't. Yeah, so I think that may or may not answer your question, but I do like Godot quite a bit. I'm just really, I've been following them for many years, and I'm hoping and looking forward to when their C# support's more robust. Ooh, Aowen, I like that. I like that. All right, so I'm pretty sure what I need to do is I need to say bits equals 4. Sorry. We're using bits argument. Bits equals 4. Address, by default, I believe it's 8. All right, let's try. If I do 4, we get 0 back. I'm really confused by this. I'm gonna shimmy this down a hair so I can see it right when the screen, it's being blocked by the save at the top, so I moved it down. 8, is this doing, oh, that's super interesting. If I do 4 here, that is super interesting. If I put a orange here. What? I'm so confused. I'm really quite confused here. Let's do this. Let's see if I do that. We get 60. Do we get a change here if I add this in here? Still 60. Okay. If I do this and I do +1, do I get 1, 2? This should be 13. Why do I get 13? I'm trying to understand. I'm really struck. My brain, I can't understand how this is laid out in memory. I have to go read a little bit more of the documentation. Gialama alums zing hyalums zing hyalums. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, and I'd like to welcome you. Zing hyalumsies. Welcome to the stream. Happy Saturday. Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. It's not Saturday. Slow down, Captain. Slow down. Is this doing, I'm wondering what the offset is here. You can use Godot 3.5 with C#, export to web, but not 4 at the moment. I understand. Sestro Mara, you are correct, but Godot 3.5 is using mono, which comes with a whole nother set of issues for getting mono to installed on computers. So there's a whole nother issue with 3.5 using mono that I've run into. It's a huge challenge to get students to have mono available and installed to do the C# builds. I'm really excited for Godot to be continued development. Darkman, yo, welcome to the stream, my friend. Nice to have you here. I've migrated the game into a VS Code part that builds an SCX snapshot with a custom SDK ROM. Very cool. Very cool. I'm trying to read and understand how to read into memory here. I'm a little confused. White Panther. Folks, we have a legend with us today. Do you know who that legend is? That legend is White Panther. Do you guys know White Panther? Absolute queen legend. No, calm down, White Panther. Incorrect. The legend is you. Attention all lurkers. I'm sure everyone already knows the White Panther, but if you don't, give her some love, folks. Incredible streamer, software developer, engineer, fabulous human being. You see this little heart right here? You see this little heart right here? You see this little heart right here? What are you waiting for?
Back. Pay attention.
Exactly. Thank you, Dark Man. Click it. Did you click it yet? Have you clicked it? Did you click it? Click it harder. Folks, here's what you got to do. Make a new Twitch account. Go make a new Twitch account, and then click it again. Because you want to be following, and then watch it in stereo. White Panther, how are you doing? Welcome back to the stream. It's so nice to have you here. The Jaggy Man, welcome to the stream as well. Happy to see you, my friend. You're on your way, Flurkin. Nice. All right, what are we working on today? Good question. What are we working on today? What that says wait, not what. What are we working on today? We're playing around with TIC-80. TIC-80 is just a fantasy console. So wait, hear me out. I'm here on a new mission to get the latest members of the Claw stream team to get to a follower goal. And they have just 70 left. Can I ask for the support? Is this Andres Sastev? I just gave them a shout out. It won't let me do it again. But we can raid over there. Andreas Sastev. All right, folks. We're going to raid over. I'm going to keep the stream is going to keep going. Here's the plan. All right, folks. Here's the plan. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep streaming, but we're going to raid over to Andreas Sastev. Be sure to click that follow button. They're almost there. We're going to raid over there. I'm going to keep going. You're welcome to come back. You're welcome to hang out over there. Incredible fella. But we're going to do it. A legend in this stream very frequently. Seshumara, let me show you real quick. Before we do that, White Panther, let's take a look here. I'm not actually projecting, I'm cheating using an atlas. Cheating is the wrong word. But I'm using a technique that uses an atlas. Let me switch this back here. Let me turn off the generator debug. And I'll walk you through it real quick. So you'll see these, it slices here, Sheshumara. It slices here. So this image is actually sliced into segments like this. So there's slices that come on down like this. All right. Slices that come down like this. And it gets built up based on where you're seeing. So it's pseudo 3D. And then so we have sort of this projection that comes out from the player like this that builds up these slices. So if we look at our sprite mapping, you will see that this is how it's sliced up. There's these slices here. This is the leftmost segment. This is the segment to the right of that. So we have all these slices that get selected based on how the walls in front of the player. So I'm not actually doing any sort of ray casting. So I've written sort of my own custom atlas here. But folks, we're gonna raid Andreas Sastev. I'm gonna keep going. You're welcome to come back, but we're gonna go. It's a lookup table. That's exactly right. There's a lookup table here. So in my mini map, we have this table here that says if there's a wall here, do this. If there's a wall there, do that. And we have this index here. All right. But we're going to go raid Andreas Sastev. You're welcome to come back. Be sure to give him a follow. Click that follow button when we're there. He's almost to 500. We're going to get him to 500 today, folks. We're going to be raiding over just for a moment. You're welcome. Get a ducky costume at 500. You're welcome to come back, folks. But here's Andreas Sastev. We're going to raid. I'm going to keep going. You're welcome back. Come on, folks. If you haven't followed already, give him a follow. Let's get him there. Folks, if you can still hear me, get him there. We're all making history. It's a ducky costume at 500, folks. All right. If you're still here, if you're still watching, Captain Coder, if you're still here, still watching Captain Coder, hang on, gotta get my chat back. Welcome back, G. Let's pop the chat back out here. All right. So. Yeah, I'm still going. Okay. Let me close that tab. Welcome back, Flurkin. All right, folks. We are trying to read the memory inside of here. Oop, that was the wrong thing. All right. We are trying. I can read the 12. This feels like deja vu. It happens. We're gonna provide tapes. Mars 9T, nice to see you. Welcome back to the stream. How you doing, buddy? Happy. What the heck is today? Wednesday. I keep saying happy Saturday. I am trying to figure out how this memory is laid out here. Let's look at what it says in the RAM. Tiles begin at address 400. 4 addresses by nibble. Begin at address 4 here. Interesting. 2 addresses by pairs. Oh. Mars 9T says, might be a Saturday if we really wanted to. It's a Saturday as long as you believe hard enough, right? It's a Saturday if you believe hard enough. It's still a Saturday. The snapshot includes a custom SDK ROM that enables you to test the assets and modify the game state. Very cool. All right, give me a second here. I got all right. There we go. All right. Yeah, we just raided over to Andreas Sastev. We're back here, though. If you're back, you're back. I just want to give him some love. Try and get those follows up. Almost to 500. I was able to hook a few ROM routines without doing any writes to RAM. That's really cool. 4,000, 8,000. Nibble peaks 4 bits. So what I want to understand is our images bits per pixel. Bits per pixel here. 4-bit palette of 16 colors. That's what I thought. Why can't I nibble? Poke 4 2 times. Okay, we might need to do this. If you want to use 1 bit per pixels for a sprite, first define a function to set BPP. I'm really, look, I was trying to follow it for a little bit. I still am really excited what's going on there. Some really cool stuff. We had it on the showcase at one point. I am confused though. My brain trying to switch back and forth between it. All right, so I think I just want to be able to peek into peek 4. What is this address? In RAM here. It's saying that the sprites start at this address. 256 8x8 4-bit foreground sprites. If the TIC-80 is a virtual console, you can think of the thing I'm writing as a real console. Oh, I know. I've seen what I've seen what you've been doing. You shared it on the stream. Aowen, really cool stuff you're doing. But is this different than the Z80? I think what you're doing is with the Z80, right? Different hardware. Okay. Okay, so I want to come in here, trying to understand this. Peak. Let's add in. I'm gonna add in an int offset here. Local. It can't be local. We'll make this offset equals 0 plus offset, like that. And I believe I want to do 4. Is it peak 4? Saying peak 4. Peak 4. The tiles. One bit at a time. I don't want 1 bit. It's an interesting idea though. If I want to access into bits per pixel, this is what I'm confused about here. Using an example, if you want to use 1 bit per pixel, this is, I don't know what this memory address here is. Changing the lower bits per pixel. I'm in 4 bits per pixel. The peak is addressing 8 bits at a time. This is why I'm a little confused here. If I do a peak 4, here, let's try peak 4 at this address. We get 0. Do I have to multiply it by 2? There we go. Multiplying it by 2 gets us back to the actual address, because it's only pulling 4 at a time. And so now I'd have to do a +1. Should be a 0 here. Let's come back in. And in our sprite, let's add in a second color here. Or let's add in, it should be, here, let's try this. 0, 1, 2. This should increment as we go along. So I want to be able to point out individual pixel colors here. And I believe if we do this, it's kind of interesting because you can actually rewrite your palette using poke into the memory address here. All right, so I want to do this. I have my offset here, plus offset. Let's do a print offset 0, 16, 12. And then I want to add in code that says if button P is 0, then offset equals offset -1. And if button, this is up and down arrows, then offset equals offset +1. Like that. So I should be able to run it. So yeah, as this goes up here. All right, so this is how we read into our pixel addresses. Our pixel addresses here. So I'm reading the pixel. Let's try something here as well. I'm gonna draw one of these. We'll do an SPR. Exactly, G. My goal here is to be able to draw our maps using sprites here. So these will be like the ways we can configure the map. This will actually be a room. So I want to take this and expand it into a bigger room. I want to take this and expand into a bigger room. And these red ones say it can be a door or nothing. A door or nothing. And so we can procedurally generate our maps here using the memory in this way. So I think this will be really cool to see, but I want to see if we can poke into memory now as well. So I wanted to draw. We're going to do a sprite here. This is sprite 496. Let's draw this at position 8, 8. That's probably not, so let's do 16, 16. So we have that, oh, not 496. I guess we can do 496. Let's see, sprite just plus this plus 496 times, plus 496 should be the offset to that actually. Sprite address 496, no, not quite, 496 times 64 times 2? I'm surprised it's not by 64, because there should be 496 times 64. I'm a little surprised that didn't work. A new image. Let's check it out real quick. Hey, Owen, just real quick in the projects forums. Oh, I love it. I love it. Check it out. It gives those old school yeah. What brilliant pixel art there. I love that color palette too. Really cool, like the tarot card. Oh, what is the resolution of this image? Pixels wide and tall. How many pixels? What's the resolution? Really cool. Thank you for sharing that, Owen. I'm a little confused why this doesn't work. Screen size is 256. All right, so I'm gonna try just let's draw 0 here. Oh, it should be sprite 256. Oh, that's what's happening. That's why I'm going to the wrong spot here. This isn't actually plus 496. It's plus. I'm actually going down this far. So it's not 256. What is 256 minus 496? 496 minus 256 plus 240 times 64. $15. There we go. There we go. So now this is 496. That's interesting there. That's interesting there. So it's actually, just so my brain can remember, it's 496 minus 256. So I'm gonna go with local sprite is rooms.4door.id, and it's sprite minus 256 there to get down into it. Use software to get more than 2 colors in the 8x8 cell. So it's doing scan lines. So one of the things that's really cool about the TIC-80 is you can modify the palette as well during the scan lines. There is a way you can do that here. So there's this function BDR, which every scan, this executes between each scan line and each border line. So you can actually modify the palette as you go. Really cool stuff. All right, mark this one here. So what I want to do, I want to switch these. All right. So right here is pick the third pixel. So 0, 1, 2, 3. This is actually that pixel right there. If we zoom in really close, we get 0, 1, 2, third pixel is actually 2. So we can use this to define our room possibilities. The possibilities for our rooms. Okay. So if I come in here and I'm pulling that out like this, my offset, let's try a poke. If button P2, then, and let's pull a local adder. So we'll calculate our adder is equal to sprite address times 2 plus sprite minus 256 times 64 plus our offset. Okay, and now we can just peek into here. Local adder, is it some kind of pet? It's some kind of pointer. Some kind of pointer. So if we're here and we press button, let's go button 4. Button 4. It's gonna increment, and we'll do a button 5. We're gonna do a poke. Should be a poke 4. Poke 4, adder. And then we're gonna poke in top left plus 1. We're gonna increment it by 1. So we can increase or decrease it here. If button P5, then poke 4, adder, top left minus 1. So we should be able to increase. So notice the sprite, you can actually modify your sprites at runtime here. So you can see, I hope, it might be too small to see, that I can actually modify. You can do a poke into memory here and modify the pixels. The main viewport uses 18 columns. The intro uses 8x2. Sorry, there's so much going on here. There are 4 different raster chasing systems in the engine. 8x1 across 18 columns. 8x1, 2 sets of 8x2. So you're doing some really cool switching on your palettes during rastering. Really cool. Pustak, it's the person in your office that does summon for you. Does summing for you. It doesn't actually rewrite the ROM. So if you modify these things and then you exit out, it doesn't actually modify it there. Okay, but we can pull it out. We can pull it out. So what I want to do is we want to pull out that information. Yeah, go for it, Owen. All right, function. Get room or build room or something like that. Get room, and it's going to take in an ID, and it's going to return. It's going to return the information stored inside here. The information stored inside, and so our walls are 15. Our floors are 13 and our doors are 2. And let me change the door color here. I want the doors to actually be this 4 here. Okay. So these all just mean something slightly different. Let's create local type. It's like this. And so we have 15 is wall. 13 floor. And 3 is door. Those are our types. And so we want to iterate through each one of these spots. So we're going to do a 4. Index is equal to 0 to 64. And maybe do a row and a column here. Row equals, I think row and column makes sense. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Row equals 0 to 8 do. for, and maybe do X and Y equals 0 to 8, do, because those will translate to our maps. And we might do this, draw room, ID, and then map, map X, map Y. So this is the room that we're gonna draw, and then we're gonna draw onto our map at this X and Y position, and it's just gonna draw it out from there. I think that's what we do, actually. So we actually pull out the room, we say, okay, here is our address. This is our ID here. So we have this as our address. There's no offset here. Enter the dog, John Art. Hello, my friend. A happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a beautiful day. We are working on a map generator here. We're gonna map generator for our dungeon crawler in Lua in TIC-80. We're defining the types of rooms that can be created using our sprite editor here. So this is a room that can be generated that has 4 doors. It's going to be up to 4 doors, and then these pillars and then walls. These pillars and walls. And we're seeing if we can translate it here. So we're reading into the memory here of this particular sprite, pulling out each of the colors, and we're translating those. Really, I need to translate these into, this should translate, the wall here should be 1. This should actually translate to sprite 1. This translates to sprite 2. And this translates to sprite 3. I'm playing with it right now. I'm no promises, but I'm just exploring the TIC-80 right now, out for fun. I'm exploring the TIC-80 for fun. I don't know. G pointed out that there is a game jam 7-day roguelite 2024, which I might use it in. So this is a game jam that is about creating procedurally generated games. And so I'm seeing if I can procedurally generate a dungeon. I might use it for this, or as a basis, as practice for this. Did you mean 7DRL? Yeah, that's what I said. 7-day roguelike. Did I say light? So I might have said roguelite. 7-day roguelike, S7DRL. There's a roguelite called Tape to Tape. It's a hockey roguelite. I haven't heard of that one. So the idea here is we're going to translate this, and the XY where we want to write this happens to be here. All right, so we're going to replace the dungeon, this dungeon that I've manually drawn. We're going to actually, maybe we'll put it off to the side here, but we're going to go ahead and draw a dungeon here at X30, Y0. So in my main here, we're going to do a generate room, or place room. I'm going to go with place room here. Place room. And so on start here, so I'm going to say start equals false. And we're going to say in our program here, if start is false, or so if we have not started, if not start, then we will do generator.generate place room. I called it place room. Place room. The room we're gonna place happens to be 496 here. And we're gonna place it at position 30, 0. So it should replace this room here. These cells. And then put an end. If I run this, I crash. Place room generator. It needs to be generator.placeroom. There we go. Just want to make sure my program runs. It does. Okay. Next. Next, you're going to hold off doing a showcase until current build. No worries. No worries. Stronk, I haven't heard of that one. What makes it a rogue game? What makes it a rogue game? And we're going to take a break here in just a moment. But let's do... We need to pull out the room here. So we're going to do a peek at the address. Peek data. So this is our local data. Peek at this address plus x plus y times 8. So that will get us to the next row. And then we want to look it up here in our type. So type of data. We do an m set at mxmy like this. Let's make sure we don't crash. Okay. And now I believe, let's turn off our generator debug here. We should get nothing. Get nothing. What did we set our map to? A debugger, a little bit of a debugger would be helpful here. Let's real quick set this to type 13. That's super weird. What is if I get rid of this? All right, so it is drawing our map over here. It is drawing our map over here. Let's try drawing in our debug here. Building out an atlas in our generator.debug. Oh, did I have this commented out? In our generator.debug, we can draw. I'll need to import our map. And we'll draw this. Draw the map player. This should be a position with an X and a Y. X equals 30, Y equals 0. So it's drawing that position there. This is the player business 34. Let's try move them in 4 and 4. Here. Okay. So drawing the map that we have here, we replaced just this one spot with a 13, which I don't understand. Oh, I need to do a plus X plus Y. There we go. So now it's replacing it there. Now let's try replacing it with the data. There we go. So now we can take our sprite and turn it into a map. Take our sprite and turn it into a map. So could you use TIC-80 to make a Game Boy game or a SNES game that runs on the Game Boy emulator? No. Those have very specific hardware requirements. You can get this to run on a variety of consoles that can support RetroArch. So I ordered, and Smab told me about this, I actually ordered a little handheld console that can run TIC-80 games. These do not compile to run on those hardware sets. So the answer to that question is no. All right. Yeah, so you can play these on handheld consoles or consoles in other spots, but not. All right, so there we go. I don't have anything to render the doors yet, so they just show up as empties. But we can actually generate these rooms and walk around in these rooms. That's interesting. Oh, this is like leftover? I don't understand this extra row here. That is a little bit peculiar to me. Yeah, so it compiles to run on RetroArch. If RetroPie is what you're looking for. Napalm Codes, welcome back to the stream. How you doing, friend? It's nice to see you on this beautiful Wednesday. Folks, we do have to take a quick break. I shall return momentarily. I'm going to grab myself some water, grab myself a little bit more coffee, and then we're going to get back into it. Hang tight, don't go anywhere. All right, folks, Captain's back. Hope everyone's having a beautiful day. Nerd Waffle, I'll show you real quick. You can run it on if you can run RetroPie. RetroPie is sort of an emulator. You can run, there's an emulator for TIC-80 for RetroPie Pi consoles. And you can actually just do, there's like a handful of RetroPie consoles you can get, whether it's a Raspberry Pi or RGB, what was it? RGB30. This is the device that I ordered. The Pow Kitty. So this device here is what I'm running it on, or what I'm planning to run it on. So you can't run it on an actual Game Boy. You can't run it on an actual Game Boy Advanced. It's not that system specifications. You can run it on something like this because it can actually emulate it. Yeah, so this is a device I ordered. Mine's actually coming today, I believe, maybe tomorrow. So I'm super excited to play with it. But yeah, you can run it on these. Yeah, so I hope you're having fun. That device is one of the ones I'm running on. Thank you. Looks like there's some great conversations going on in the chat. If you want to specifically see my take on something, feel free to @ me so I know what's going on, because I know you guys are having a side conversation, which is awesome. I love that. Okay. I want to do a generation. I want to define the types of rooms I can have with this sort of thing. And so I have a draw. I have my generator here. No cap. No, it's totally fine. And we can place a room here, give it a thing like that. I kind of want to take this and actually have a room function generator dot gen room, and this will take in the ID to actually generate, and it's going to return. There's my C# kicking in, and this will actually take the room to place. So this will actually generate a room. And so we actually don't have to pull this in. Instead, we just loop through all the XY positions of this room. Room X plus Y times width. Room dot width. And we might do a double index in there. X, Y, like this. We might do it like this. Okay, so we can come through. Yeah, anything that can play TIC-80 can do it. And TIC-80 runs pretty much everywhere. Not 100% everywhere. All modern stuff. But yeah, you absolutely should. You should. It's been super fun. I've been really enjoying it. So generating a room here. Give it an ID. This should actually be. This needs to be slightly different. Basically, generating a room here takes in this. So we know each pixel is X and Y. And we need to translate that into... Am I overcomplicating things? Probably. I really like to do that. The room dot width room dot height. We are engineers. We love to overcomplicate stuff. We overcomplicate things in the spirit of simplification. That is the problem as an engineer. Like, oh, I want to make this thing robust, but simple, and thus we make it complicated. That's really what happens here. All right. So we're gonna go through our X and Y here. We're gonna start off with our room, local room. And then we're gonna return room at the end. Return room at the end. For now, I'm gonna do this thing here where our width is gonna be 8, our height is gonna be 8. And we're gonna build up this array inside of it. So I can't do room of X, Y just yet here, because it's gonna be double indexed. Data here is gonna be inside room.data. And I think I just wanna lay it out in a single dimensional array where it is laid out. It's gonna work out this way though. Or do I need to make a position type where we can index into? Everyone can be overcomplicated. Everything, everyone, everything, and everyone can. Yeah, it just means you're an engineer at heart, Nerd Waffle. You're an engineer at heart. Deep down inside, you're an engineer. Data of X plus Y. I kind of want to do X comma Y or something. Y times room.width will actually get us there. We're going to try it this way. We are going to try it this way for now. I'm going to try it this way just to see how, if this indexing will work the way I want it to. When we come in for every, and we really should, it's interesting because it's laid out in memory. Here's our address. All right, still this real quick. We have our address. This becomes ID. Data. Here. We're going to peek at our address. Plus. This is the top left corner. Plus X times Y times 8. This will get us this cell. X plus, is that right? Hang on. X, this is our row. Sorry, this is our column, this is our row. This is why I do R and C most of the time. I do row and column usually because X and Y get me confused. All right, then we need to translate it into, so we say type of data. And we say room.data of X, Y is equal to this. This is what I want to do. Thank you for the doy, JD. Thank you for the doy. Let's do a format here. How you doing, JD? Thank you for the first. Thank you for those points, folks. Be sure to check out JD Does Dev. Another member of the Claw, not that I'm a member, but earlier we rated Andreas Sasdev, trying to get to 500 followers.
I am not the captain, but my eyebrows also move in a way like the captain.
JD, thank you for the impersonation. Not impersonation, the impression. It's still at 492, folks. Be sure to go give Andreas Sasdev a follow. Hero Fox 22, welcome back to the stream. How you doing, friend? Best deep fake. It's the only deep fake. The only deep fake. Here, we're gonna pin this on the chat actually. Andreas Sasdev is trying to get to 500 followers. Duck costume at 500. Go check them out. All right, we're gonna pin this to the top here, but Hero Fox, welcome back to the stream. School has been awesome. I absolutely love my job. I love my school. I love my students. We had 2 days of classes. Today's the third day. RGB 30 uses RetroArch for emulation, which means you can install the Fuse emulator on it and run my... Ooh! Owen, that's awesome. Been so fun. Yesterday, the students checked out Tofu Land for the first time. So it was the first class doing TIC-80. They played... I don't know if you guys... I need to make a Tofu Land command. Let's make a Tofu Land command. We're going to get distracted just for a second, folks. Just for a second. We are going to come into commands. Do I put in commands? Projects. I don't want it to be listed in all the commands, so I have past projects. Let's duplicate one of these. We'll edit this. This is going to be Tofu Land. Tofu Land. Message, exclamation point, tofu. Exclamation point, Tofu Land. All right, and the effect here, make sure we put this in here. You can play it here. Tofu Land. Tofu Land is a game created with the TIC-80 as an educational project for Captain Coder's students. All right, there we go. Boom, boom, boom. We got a tofu command. No, Hero Fox. You don't apologize. You distract me in the best ways. You're distracting me in the best ways, making things better here. So now we have a tofu command, so that way I don't have to keep looking it up. People can just go check it out like that. And then I want to add it to. We have a command called projects. A command called projects that we have to update. Here that lists all the old projects, and we put them in sort of in the backwards order. Tofu, there we go, so people can go find the old project commands. There we go. IHQMD, we got a doctor in the house, folks. A doctor. IHQ, I hope you're doing beautiful. New version is going to be Vulkan only. Sorry, I missed it. Speaking of RetroArch, my current code project is a new and improved version of WindowCast. The Libretto core, Libretto core that lets you capture the contents of an arbitrary window for processing an RA's shader stack. That's kind of cool. Kilted Ninja, greetings. Good morning to you from me. Good morning, Kilted Ninja. I'd like to welcome you back today. Kilted Ninja, hope you're having a beautiful day. Man, my hair is looking funny today. My hair is looking funny. Prophet's pointing out my hair is going crazy. My hair is all slicked back and funny looking. I need a haircut, man. I have to slick it back. So I put vitamin E oil in I have really dry skin. So I put vitamin E. I'm going bald a little bit. I don't think I'll ever go super bald, but I do have a receding hairline, which I'm not, well, I guess I'm kind of proud of. It shows distinction, but I use vitamin E oil in my hair. My scalp gets super dry, so I put vitamin E oil and then I comb it back. It's just getting so long, it looks like all slicked back. Someone was saying I look like a mobster earlier. Argan oil is a good one too, but yeah, it's mostly vitamin E, jojoba oil, some other stuff. Thank you for the doy, Lance. Have you ever written low-level Vulkan code? I haven't, because the answer is no. Try to keep it that way. It's a pain. It's true. JD, I'm going bald. No two ways about it. JD, if you keep growing that beard out, you can just comb it over. Beard comb over. You can beard comb over. You're almost there. Look, just keep growing that beard out, and then no one will ever know. Who's gonna know? Who's gonna know? You just take your beard, swipe it over your head like that, and no one will ever know. It's gonna be in the hat squad, yeah. Vulkan is like shader language, isn't it? Shader language. Someone correct me around. Vulkan's like interacting with 3D rendering and stuff. Tell me more, because I don't know. I don't want to say something incorrect. I've never written stuff in Vulkan. All right, so let's get rid of, I'm gonna move this just here. But the idea being these get translated. Okay, this is gonna have a trouble because our data is not multi-dimensional. I'm curious if it will just let us do this. come back over here. We're gonna go into this here. Debug that, and in our mini map, sorry, in our generator, in our demo here, let's do room, local room equals generator.gen room for rooms.4door.id. And I suppose it should actually take in a room type, taking in an ID right now. Room blueprint, we'll call this blueprint. And this is gonna be blueprint.id, blueprint.id. That's how it's gonna pull it out. And we'll probably do something, so I might want my blueprints to have more information. So we're gonna generate a room and we're gonna place room. Generator.place room and 30 here. Clear, let's try again. Line 41. Yeah, so this is the problem here. Room.data is not multidimensional, so we need to make sure it becomes multidimensional. Vulkan is an alternative to OpenGL DirectX. Okay. Was never intended for video games, and DirectX is getting a little long in the tooth, although PlayStation has a DirectX compatible 3D. Vulkan was never meant for video games, is that what you said? Oh, OpenGL was never intended for video games. I did not know that. For example, creating a texture in Direct 3D, so I think D3D11, fill out a D3D11 texture struct and call create texture ensures that the P initial data member is pointing to some stuff. Look, I definitely know what you're talking about. I've done just a little bit with 3D rendering, just the smallest amount here. So I need to have a multi-dimensional array. So I'm going to have a set data. I need to do something like this. I want to do room.data xy type data. I want to do this, all caps. I want to do this. And so I need to have a function here that, and I might do this actually. I'm going to create a set data here. We're going to have a locally defined function set data is an XY type. And this is going to be a local function that's operating on this data object here. And what I think we can do is we can say room.data of x. All right, we're going to say if room.data of x is nil, then room.data of x is equal to an empty array like this. And then I believe we can now safely set it room.data of x, y equals type. So essentially this is saying, hey, if we haven't accessed this yet, go ahead and add one in. There we go. So now we can get this to actually do it first. Oh, I'm changing my sprite when I do that. That's really weird there. All right. Ever back in Kickstarter and completely forget about it, and then I get a message that your pledge is processing. When your pledge is processing, is that when you have to pay, or is that when you actually get your stuff out of it? Gotcha. IHQ was saying that example was saying it's simple. The OpenGL pipeline. So that's when you pay. Gotcha. I haven't done that one. I usually am aware of the Kickstarters that I pay. That could be a little bit scary though. So hopefully third time lucky. What are you working on? Kilted. I'm sorry. Look, we get distracted here sometimes. Kilted. We're rambling is what we're doing here. No, let me show you. So I'm playing around with the TIC-80, lost in important chats, lost in it. Let's check it out here. I am...
You in the back. Pay attention.
Creating a dungeon crawler in TIC-80 and Lua. So we built this atlas out here. We can move around. So here's the player. The arrow represents the direction we're facing. And we use an atlas to generate this screen here. All right, so I built this yesterday. I built this portion of it yesterday. And so it's built up. Yeah, old school 3D maze. Yeah, so we have these slices. And I'm probably going to consolidate these. But this is the atlas. I've never implemented a dungeon crawler using an atlas. This is my first time doing it. And I absolutely loved doing it. I had so much fun doing it. Thank you for the, hey, JD, I'm trying. Look, we're doing our best. Captain Coder's trying. All right, we're doing our best.
Back. Pay attention.
Redston, welcome back to the stream. All right, so with this, I would like to procedurally generate. So G pointed out that the 7-day rogue-like game jam is coming up, and then I could potentially use this in there. I was like, oh, that'd be cool. I don't know if I'm going to actually participate, but in the spirit of doing this, I've decided to do a procedurally generated dungeon. Procedurally generated 3D dungeon here. And so I've decided to do it in the most TIC-80 way I can think to do it. Which is we define the different types of rooms that can be generated in the TIC-80 memory. Okay. You could call it, you could probably procedural. Procedural. I like it. Should have known it already exists. I felt so good about it. I knew it already existed. Oh, AO, and I knew it already existed, but there's so much fun, so much learning that goes. I've always wanted to do, and I've never done it because I kind of know how it works, but I've never gone ahead and done it myself. Enjoy your walk, G. Have a beautiful day. Remember to keep coding, keep growing, be the best G you can be, and you're welcome back anytime. My friend. So we have this as a definition for our map. Rooms, the possible rooms we can generate. And so what I'm working on right now, let's switch back to my debugger, my debug mode, is I'm actually taking this image, so there's this sprite here, and I'm using that to generate a map. So reading that sprite, can I generate a map out of it? And the answer is we can. We done did it. So we were just playing around with TIC-80 here, understanding it. So we're peeking and doing interesting memory accesses to do it. And so I'm generating rooms. Yeah, I'm having so much fun with it. Nameless Coda! Welcome back, Nameless Coda. Welcome back, my friend. And we also got Redston today. Redston and Nameless Coder. I know I already said hello, Redston, but I thought I'd sing you a song. Nameless Coder, how you doing, buddy? Welcome back to the stream. It's nice to have you here. Okay, what's we doing? What is good? Anonymous says hello. Anonymous, nice to have you here as well. Kilted says, I like the whole take some pixels as data and generate maps and then make 3D rooms. I know. It's like, why would you make your life so difficult? Because we can. Do your walls take up space or do they sit between tiles? Art's asking AO and Dead. Yeah, mine are taking up the whole space. And I think last time I made them do wall splitting, and that was just super painful. And illustrating limited stuff, you gotta get obscure a little bit. Yeah, so Kilted, I could also just, define them in data too. I could define them out here. It's more fun this way. So this is the most TIC-80 way I could think to do this. As a person who's not a TIC-80 expert, this is sort of the way I decided to do it. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. IHQ, describing the convoluted, painful way of doing things in Vulkan, compared to so just to contrast here, IHQ. This is how we would do it in OpenGL. Two sentences. And now HQ is describing how we do it in Vulkan. We got 1 paragraph, 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs. And then IHQ gave up describing the process because it was too much. So it's more convoluted. I don't know if convoluted's right, but it's more, a lot more work is what it sounds like. Just go to paper and pencil. It's true. All right, here we go. All right. What am I doing? Who am I? Where are my false teeth? All right, so we have this generator in a room. Okay, cool. There's something that I want to do next, which is these door tiles. The door tiles aren't actually doors. They're connection points where we could potentially add on a room. So the idea being here that the red is a connection point saying I can connect to something else. I think I need to make them line up to make my life a little bit easier. Here it's saying this is a possible connection. It's a possible connection. Kind of like the curve to it, though. You know, the way I did this before was I actually put the doors in the corners. So we could do something like this. And then we move them off by 1. Hang on, this is getting prickly here. All right. Boom. Clear those out. So these are the spaces where doors could spawn, but there is the chance of doors spawning gets smaller and smaller as our maze expands. And we end up with rooms. Basically, you have this room will spawn, there'll be another room that spawns next to it, and then we generate pathways, hallways that connect them. So let's go with that room. Let's generate a smaller room here. So we're gonna do a smaller room. So there's gonna be a small room here that we could possibly generate. Down here like this. If I could possibly get this to work. Let's see here, get rid of the outside. Like that. So we'll say that this one could have a room, a door spawns here, or here, or here, or here. I hate that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3 here. Like that. So these are where hallways can be generated. 1, 2, 3. I did that one in the wrong spot. There we go. So this is a different room configuration that we could get. Different room configuration we can get. And when you generate a room out, when you get a wall here, we'll generate a hallway some distance out and put a connection on the end of it. And then try to connect another, then we say, okay, well, where can we connect this thing here? Let's do another room. Let's get another room here. Let's make a circular-ish room. Circular-ish. What's funny is this room that I was going to turn into a circle. It'll look identical to this room. So what we need to do is we need to shrink it in that much more. So now we have a room like this, and we have potential doors like that. Okay, so I have a room here, and if I wanted to, I could say that potential doors could be either of these positions, and then do some special that says like don't put doors right next to each other. There we go. Okay. All right. Made corners, yeah. So you could have corners as well. You could do stuff like this, where we have we have straightaways. We have straightaways like this. And so let's duplicate that. We could probably do something where we do the rotations outside of here, but we could do straightaways. We could do T's. Oops. T's like this, where you have like these hallways that appear this way. I might want to shorten this. This feels like a really long hallway. And then we have the other ones that go like this. So these are things that can connect together. So the idea is we sort of connect these together. We take these, and then you would place them in ways where the connectors line up. The connectors line up. So we say, okay, well, here's this thing here. We know where the connector is. We need to combine these rooms together. Combine these rooms together. So take this, select a connector, either put something there or not. Sorry, the name is Chris. Sorry if you already mentioned, but how are you going to randomly connect the rooms? It's an excellent question. It's an excellent question. So you start with a seed room. So you might say, okay, well, I want to start with this room, and you randomly place this room. Then you say, for each one of these orange cells, either connect it to take another room and connect it. It's hard to do with this one. Can I do it like that? It won't let me paste it in there. So yeah. So what it'll do is say, take one of these other rooms, either take another room and connect it. So you basically overlay the connection on it, or you turn it into a wall. So one of those two things will happen, and you have this probability matrix that says, well, this particular, we're going to select these with a higher probability or a lower probability. And as your maze gets further and further out, the probability shrinks and shrinks and shrinks and shrinks until you have your whole maze defined. Does that make sense, Nameless Coder? But yeah, I need to get this working here with just some of these rooms first, and then we should be able to just add in as many as we want. So I'm going to start here with our big room here, and then our other options here. You're welcome. So there's a little bit of trickiness here. Yeah, there's a little trickiness where when they merge together, we need to make sure that they match in those spots. So we got to write a little code for that. But right now I have it so I can take a room and I give it a blueprint, and it's able to do some stuff with it. So I want to do a new function, and I want to do a merge rooms. So we're going to take in a room and a room, room 0, room 1, and we want to take the connection point. I will call this base to add. So we're going to take this base, we're going to add this to it at a specific X and Y location. So it says, given this base, add this room at this XY location. So in this case, I can take this room here, So if we just think about this room, this is X7, Y2. X7, Y2. And so we'll write a little test here. So we're going to create this room with 4 doors. Let's define this one up here now. 4 doors. Let's go with horizontal east, west hall. This one is ID 499. All right, north, and I'm gonna abbreviate this EW hall. North south hall. ID is equal to, and we're gonna call this 500. There we go. So I should be able to say this is our base. Local north south. I'll call this to add to follow our convention. Generator, gen room, rooms dot north south hall, and I want to generate. This is our base blueprint. And actually do this. Local base is equal to rooms dot 4 door. Local to add is equal to, we're going to generate I had this right to begin with. This should be base. This is our hall. And now we're going to create our new room. Local room is going to be generator.merge rooms, base to add. And then this is just testing things out here. I'm going to add it at 2, 0. 2, 0 is where it's going to connect it. 2, 0. Okay. Like that. That's saying I want to connect a room to our base room, and maybe I'll do base 2, 0 and then to add. So it's a little bit more clear. It's like this is getting connected to, and we're going to add this onto the end. So maybe I'll do the X, Y, and to add at the end. We might also want to include, so this is the tricky part. I need to also include where this is going to connect. So this one's X3, Y7. At some point, I need to determine that. So this would be our base X, base Y. This will be our add X, add Y. And when we call this becomes X is 3, Y is 7. So I determine that here in the top corner. I'm pulling this information out here. I'm observing it there. So we can pull it out that way. All right. Now, when we do the merge, we actually need to generate a new room. So local, we can either generate a new room or we can modify this one. Let's generate a new one. Let's follow functional programming a little bit. Let's generate a new one. Or we need to make this one not like actually modify the base. Could make it actually modify the base. That might be okay. Let's do that, because I'm thinking we're going to be doing this a bunch. Maybe we'll do it we'll do it in a, what would that be called? Empirical way. Empirical, why can't I think of the word? The empirical programming? Empirical programming. What am I? Functional programming. Why can't I? Imperative. IHQ. Thank you. Imperative programming was the word. Points. Add IHQ. That's right. Imperative programming is the word I was looking for. I was like, empirical sounds wrong. Empirical is a way of doing bad science, essentially. Not necessarily bad science. Non-hypothesis driven science. Just test everything. See the program parents I did a second year. For some reason, it keeps paying off. It keeps paying off. I couldn't think of the word empirical. Bad science was the wrong word. Fun fact. The way we discovered what colors human can see, we did it empirically. Empirical. Based on consider they're verifiable by observation or experience rather than theory or pure logic. So empirical says, in a lot of ways, you're like, I have a hunch. I observe something and it does. So empirical is observation, but not necessarily coming up with a hypothesis. Haskell is my favorite programming language, IHQ. Haskell is my favorite programming language. I love programming in Haskell. So we're going to actually merge these rooms together, and then we will do a draw. We'll place rooms, and then we'll do a generator place rooms. Yeah. Place room, generator dot place room base 30, like that. So this is gonna blow up on us. Our return base, essentially. Oh, well, actually, we don't have to return anything. It modifies it. We still have this room, but we're gonna combine these rooms together. So to add, we need to loop through all of the positions in to add and merge them into base with this sort of offset here. So we're gonna say 4. What's interesting, there's one other thing here. Local type. This could be nil. If type is nil, then we need to use a go-to, which I hate. Go-to continue. Continue. So there's no continue command, but we do have a go-to, so we can jump down to the end of this. The reason I'm doing that is we don't want to. I guess nil could be a value in there that says nothing. Actually, let's come back up here. I'm okay with nil, actually. Type of data. We just need to make sure we have an index for nil that says nil goes to 0. This feels weird, but I think we can do that. Let's try that with our NS Hall. So NS Hall has a bunch of nils. No, it can't. Line 13, table index is nil. All right, so we can't have a nil there. I was hoping we could. But what we can do is we can say set data here. We're going to say if type is nil, then type equals 0. There we go. There we go. So that's really all we had to do. All right, BK today is going down as one of the greatest in history. I'm glad to hear that. Right now, I'm just playing around with retro system stuff and on Windows 3.1 on an emulator. Very cool. Very cool. Are you gonna play Castle of the Winds? If I had Windows 3.1, I'd be playing Castle of the Winds. Got a 77 on my reports, and I just looted a mount. I've been farming in World of Warcraft for 6 years. Nice. Nice. For 6 years. This is why I can't play MMOs anymore. They're too addictive for that. I do have a list of games I'm going to install on my Windows 3.1 system. Though, what games on your top list? So the reason I say Castle of the Winds is it's exclusive. You can only play Castle of the Winds on Windows 3.1. It only runs on Windows 3.1. It's the only place to play it. You cannot play it anywhere else. Castle of the Winds 2, apparently, is called Castle of the Winds. Yeah, you can only play this on Windows 3.1. It's the only platform that supports it. That's awesome. I used to love that game as a kid. All right. Okay. So now when we merge these rooms together, part of me wants to just not put it in there. If it's nil, if it's not equal to nil, can I do it this way? I guess I'll put a 0 in there, it's fine. Fuel Snabble! Welcome back to the stream. Fuel, what's going on in my my bot? My bot thinks there's a PQ at the beginning of your name. Did I type PQ? Oh, I must have typed a PQ over here. That's what it is. I was like, why did it say PQ Snabble? Peak Snabble. Snabble, how you doing, friend? What have you been up to? How is life treating you? I hope it's treating you well. All right, let's shrink this. Come on. I swear Chrome updated and made it harder to... Chrome or Windows something updated, so it's hard to do. All right. Booed all for no reason. It's true. All right. We're doing a merge here. This should be 4-door. Like that. The merge here, we need to go through 4. X equals 0 to add dot width. Do 4 y equals 0 to add dot height. And okay. This is inclusive. This is interesting. Should this be the 7? Line 69. Our width and our height should be 8 minus 1. Minus 1. Yeah. Yeah, indexing by 1 got me again. Pretty quintessential Snabble, it's true. It's true. Parental questioning. Farming and look, I haven't played WoW, but I have played EverQuest. I played EverQuest for years. And I even came back to EverQuest on Project 1999. It's wild. It's wild how much time you can spend just, poop socking. Did we raid and then continue streaming? I'm confused. We did, Mooniz. We raided and continued streaming. Andreas Sastev's trying to get to 500 followers. We had a request from White Panther came by and wanted us to check him out there. Poop sock, and that's right, Hesh Valentine. Poop sock, and you need a poop sock? I can mail one to you. If your poop sock's all full, I can send you a new one. Biotest, back from school. I need to recover my old email by switching data on my old phone to my other one. We're just changing screens. But yeah, we rated out, but I kept going. I fill one every day. Ooh, nice. Is it one of those? Winter socks? One of those big winter socks, like the big wool ones, or maybe a legging, a stocking. That's my favorite one. Is the full leg stocking, the knee highs. For when I'm on a long raid. I buy the Christmas stocking in January after they go on sale. Oh gosh, what is wrong with us? Why are we here? What am I saying? This is horrific. This is terrible. But yeah, we're having a grand old time, folks. Yeah, Mooniz, we did raid out Andreas Sastev trying to get 500 followers. So we went ahead and raided over there. With most people, some people came back, but now we're here. Oh, Hesh, you'll love this. Let me show you what we're doing. We are working with the TIC-80. If you have time, I'm doing a procedural dungeon generator. Oh, nice. Congratulations on being off stage. So we are putting together a retro dungeon crawler here, using a traditional atlas. So we're on the TIC-80. And we put together an atlas here to render out a field of view. And you know this stuff. Incredible retro streamer, folks. But set up our field of view here. Super fun to do. What's with streamers and doing weird things with socks? I know another streamer who wets her socks in the sink, then puts them on. Why? Well, oh no, stop, don't do that. That's how you get sick. That sounds like a recipe for disaster. Do not want wet socks. Doesn't that make, look, I don't know. I don't know nothing about nothing, no one never. I ain't never learned nothing about no one ever. But we set this up here. We had a lot of fun implementing this, and we have, we're doing it with our TIC-80, which has this sprite editor built in. It's kind of like emulating old hardware. You have all the limitations of old hardware as far as sprite memory, graphics memory, music, that sort of stuff. But you get the modern power of a CPU, the modern power of the power of your modern CPU and RAM if you want to access it. But we've put together our atlas here for drawing these chunks onto the screen, and we're having a lot of fun doing it. So now we're moving on to procedurally generating. Someone pointed out that the where did it go? The 7-day rogue-like challenge is coming up. I don't know if I'm going to participate, but we might. And so we're doing a little bit of procedural dungeon generation using the TIC-80's limited capacity. So we're using this. Everyone keeps asking, did I see Castle of the Winds? Yeah, I was telling. That's right, Hash Valentine played Castle of the Winds. Who was it? Someone is setting up a Windows, IHQ is setting up Windows 3 emulator, and I was saying if I had Windows 3, I'd play Castle of the Winds. I would play Castle of the Winds if I had. It's a Windows 3.1 exclusive. Windows 3.1 exclusive, but we're doing some map generations using these as tiles that can connect together. So we're writing the code. On real hardware, yeah. Hero Fox, remember, keep coding, keep growing, be the best you can be. You're welcome back anytime. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you next time, Hero Fox. Thank you so much for hanging out. All right, so that's sort of what we're doing here. Is we're writing code to do dungeon, procedurally generated dungeon. I'm not doing waveform collapse. I don't think I'm doing waveform collapse or wave function collapse. I'm doing a kind of roll. Maybe I should because people keep mentioning it. I'm sort of doing a roll my own, where we pick a room. This room would be sort of our seed, and it says, okay, for each one of these slots, randomly pick another thing to merge with. Randomly pick something to merge with one of these other things, and it won't be like uniformly random. Won't be uniformly random. Different rooms will have different things that can be connected. So each one of these will likely be a hall that attaches to it. And it's either that wave function, is this quantum dynamics bionic Brad? Welcome back. Wave function collapse. We are not doing quantum dynamics, no. Good question. But yeah, I'm doing sort of a roll my own. Maybe I should learn about it, and maybe I am doing it. I don't know. This is just sort of the way I do it. We're doing it the Captain Coder way. Okay. So these are magic numbers. These are the sizes of our sprites, and now we're gonna merge these together. All right. And we're indexing by 1, so I have to do a -1 here. Alternatively, I could put 7. No, it should be 8. I could also do. I gotta subtract it out somewhere. Lua, why are you indexing by 1? Why would you do this to me? Why do you do this to me, Lua? All right, so merge rooms. That's how we get those horrible off by 1 errors. We want to go through all of the positions in our to-add, and we're gonna add them into our base here. So our base, once again, we need this set data here. We need this here to be a set data function. And maybe we add set data into our rooms. Maybe our rooms has a set data function. Maybe we do room.set. Ooh, too big. Booyah, Grandma! Booyah, Grandma! How you holding up today? not data type definition in the function argument. Not a data type definition in the function argument. Are you saying no data type or not data type? Booyah Grandma, welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a beautiful day, folks. New streamer. I think you're a new streamer. I'm not sure. You're new to me. Be sure to go check out Booyah Grandma, Game Dev. What have you been working on, friend? What are you working on these days? And welcome to the stream. I think what I want to do is I want to do room.setData is going to be equal to this function. So I'm going to do this so that way I can do room.setData here. And then this will be built in. And then I'll have that up here. So I can actually do room.setData and like on an X, Y, and then like 5 or whatever it happens to be. And this should be base, by the way, not room. Working towards an alpha release. Awesome. If you got any links for us, Booyah Grandma, one sec. Let me give you permission. Permit Booyah Grandma. If you got any links for us, feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll check them out. I don't know if you do or not, but if you do, we'll check them out. Yeah. All right. So, never seen Lua before. What is it? I'm a noob. Lua is a, how can I describe Lua? It's a programming language. Lua is a programming language. It is designed to be embeddable. It's designed to be a language that gets embedded into other tools. So it's a very simple language, very quick to parse. Very straightforward. Doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles. It doesn't have a whole lot of bells and whistles. A lot of languages have lots of bells and whistles. Lua doesn't have many bells and whistles at all. Bionic Bread, you can't sub because I'm not an affiliate. I'm not an affiliate, so you can't sub here. Sorry, friend. If you want, I should make a link for this. We did just get Captain Coder. Just got approved. If you want to, you can become a sponsor on GitHub of Captain Coder's the Captain Coder org. Captain Coder's Academy did just get approved for sponsorships on GitHub, so I'm super excited about that. So you can do that. We also have a Ko-fi, but I think I'm going to be dwindling that out there. But yeah, I'm not an affiliate. I'm not a partner. I don't want ads on my channel. So I don't do it there. There's also a Ko-fi if you want to do that. One-time donations on Ko-fi are great too. But no, not required. Not required. I just don't want the ads on my channel. It's really what it comes down to. How am I going to cheer bits and make the fun noises on the stream? We got commands for that. Do the hey.
You in the back. Pay attention.
Do the hey. We do the Googles. We got the Googles. You can make look. If you got we got the fake points. We got the fake points. Look. If you go to camp, it's with a little bit of extra effort. It's like a small cup is a large with a little extra walking. We got a couple commands down here. Effort. I know. Look, you can make me run on a trip. Look. This is my favorite one. For 12,000 points, I'll play a round of Tetris while walking or running on my treadmill. You get to optionally set the speed of the treadmill. Who doesn't want to see Captain Coder suffer? Losing weight, playing that Tetris effect at the same time. Or I'll draw you a stupid picture for 30,000 points. What do you want? Save up for him. Thank you for the first, and you get bonus points for doing an exclamation point first. Can make you play 14 games. You could try. Look. Little known fact. Light mode is actually better for your eyes than dark mode. Little known fact. Dark mode is actually kind of bad on your eyes. Look, do you not see this well-lit room? Look, I gotta get my tan somehow. No, I'm one of those freaks that prefers light mode in most situations.
They said
I'm so over dark mode
streams.
Oh, who? I missed it. What did it say? Thank you so much for the I missed it. It didn't come through in the chat. We gotta go check it out. Who? Hang on. Give me a second. I gotta go check. We just got a donation from Bionic Bread. Thank you so much. You're welcome for the educational streams. Bionic Bread, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you so much. We got to say thank you to Bionic Bread. Thank you, Bionic Bread, so much. Look, chat, we tricked him into showing off board games without spending points. It's true. It's true. But we can go in depth. We can go in depth on a board game. For a measly 3,000 points. For a measly 3,000 points. Bionic Bread, I love you, my friend. Thank you so much. I think you need a shader mode with cool looking shader. Look, maybe. Moonness, it's broken. You can look. The first button is broken. It just keeps giving you points forever. I know. Look, Captain Bad Programmer, Captain Terrible at Programming is my name. Folks, get those free time to farm. It's a good thing that it's a logarithmic function that just gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay. We gotta merge these things together. That's interesting. What is going on here? Generator.debug. Hang on. Generator.debug. What is this doing wrong? Place rooms, map.draw. I broke something. What did I break? How dare, Moonness, you broke it. How dare you break my computer, Moonness. You've broken my computer. All right, this still works. I'll send the bill at the end of the month. It's true. You owe me 170,000 channel points. You owe me 100 points. Remove. Moonness. There we go. Now we're even. Moonness. All right. That was a little bit rude. Here, I'll give him back. There you go. All right, let's keep going here. Why isn't my debug suddenly? There it goes. I don't know what's going on there. Woo! Nice try, Moonness. Nice try to give yourself all the points. You know, I'm not even gonna say it. I was gonna say those are two. All right, I'm gonna say it. All right. I teach middle school students ages 10 to 14. They are aware of those numbers being memes, but they don't understand them. I remember a student saying one of those numbers and I had to stop and ask them, I was like, why do you think that number's funny? And they said, I don't know, I've seen it on the internet. They understand LEET, exactly. I was like, why do you think that number is funny? They're like, I don't know. What got you into the TIC? The Grumpy Game Dev got me into the TIC. It's a famous birthday. It's true. It's also a famous birthday. That one everyone knows, Moonness. Absolute power, corruption, LEET. Exactly. You guys get me. This shouldn't modify anything. Okay, I guess I just wasn't hitting refresh. Or this was rewriting it with 5s. If I did here with 2s. All right, so I was just rewriting the whole thing here. Okay. You have to turn it upside down. So funny. Hilarious. All right, so what we're going to say is to add dot data of x, y. We're going to say if is equal to nil. Then we got to skip. We got to do the annoying. We got to, there's no continue. This is another thing I don't like. I want to be able to continue. We want to do nothing. But I guess what we'll say is if it's not nil, then we will do something. I just don't like this because look at that nesting. You guys know I'm a never nester. I don't want to nest ever. I want to never nest whenever ever. I want to nest as never as possible, or something like that. All right. So if it's not nil, we want to add this into our base dot set data, and we want to do an offset. There's a little bit of an offset we want to do here. For now, I'm going to do x, y, and then to add of x, Y, just to show that we should be able to add, we should be able to crash here. We did it. We should be able to crash line 42. Attempt to index a nil value. Dot data. There we go. Like that. So you'll notice this wall just got chunked right into it here. But it needs to be on that offset. It needs to be shifted up here. If you have you ever played Neverhood? I have not played Neverhood. I've not even heard of Neverhood. That nasty, I know. I know, it's disgusting. It's Code Monk, forgive me. Forgive me, Code Monk, for I have sinned. Never nest, we need the linear time complexity, it's true. Neverhood is excellent. I haven't heard of Neverhood. Alright. Neverhood. The nesting is nasty or nesty? Neverhood. I haven't even seen this game. Is it called the Neverhood? Claim in the mystery of Neverhood. Interesting. The developer's extremely broke-brained. Look, it happens. Look, we've all got problems. Also, Cheap Grams, welcome back to the stream. Let me pull it up over here, what we have. Is it this game? My answer is no, I haven't played it. I have not. The Neverhood is a point-and-click adventure games I'm into, though. We might have to play this. We might have to give this a little look. We might have to give it a little peeky peek. A little looky-loo. A PlayStation port of the game called Clayman. Hang on. Look, let me scroll around and not read anything and make it, and that way I learn about what this thing is. If I scroll really fast, maybe and just see the bullet points, maybe I'll actually be able to understand it here. The Neverhood is a 1996 point-and-click adventure video game developed by the Neverhood Incorporated and published by DreamWorks Interactive for Microsoft Windows. The game follows the adventure of a claymation character named Clayman as he discovers his origins and his purpose in a world made entirely out of clay. Modern PC using the Scum VM. I do have a Scum VM. Clayman, yeah. Not the Clayman. Speaking of Clayman, do you guys know Clayman? It's true. Incredible streamer, developer. Copy and paste in the chat. You're going to ask for a simple summary. It's true. Just copy and paste this whole thing into Chat GPT. What does this look like if I just copy and paste it? Here, let's try. All right, Chat GPT. Do I have? Hang on. I have it on a different screen here. We're going to ask Chat GPT to summarize for us. 1 second. How do I close this left bar? Yeah. Don't want to reveal too much. Summarize the following. Let's see if I just copy and paste that in there. Perfect. Perfect as it is. Let's see how it does, folks. Yay, technology. All right, let's see if chat... Summarize the following. All right, Chat GPT. The text is a detailed Wikipedia article about The Neverhood, a 1996 point-and-click adventure video game developed by The Neverhood and published by DreamWorks Interactive. The game, notable for its unique claymation animation, follows the character Clayman in a world made entirely of clay. I like how it just is like, let me just repeat that first sentence for you. Here's some key points. All right. Well, it worked. It was able to ignore a bunch of the garbage here, which is kind of cool. Thanks, Chat GPT. Gotta get going. BK Dev, thanks for hanging out. Have a beautiful day, my friend. We'll see you next time. We'll be back. I'm not going to be here tomorrow or Friday. I won't be here tomorrow or Friday. We'll be back Saturday with a collab stream with the Grumpy Game Dev. Collab stream Saturday. Saturday morning, Grumpy Game Dev, and also a collab stream with Dungeons and Dimples. We'll be over on Dimple's stream on Saturday. Give her a follow. Give her a follow.
Particular offense to this pile of snow, and is just attacking it with all of her arrows. What are you doing, honey? Die, snow.
I'm gonna be on Dungeons and Dimples streams on Saturday, folks. We're gonna be playing Marvel Champions, a board game. We're gonna be playing board games over on Dungeons and Dimples stream. Click that follow button. Click it. Click it harder. Click it once, click it twice, make sure you're following, make a second account, follow them 2, 3, 4, 7 times, you know, at least 8 times. Got to get them up there. They're working their way up to affiliate. But yeah, we're gonna be playing Marvel Champions on stream, so be sure to give Dimples a follow, folks. Grumpy Game Dev, we're gonna be doing test-driven development on Saturday morning, and then playing board games with Dimples in the afternoon. Okay. We need to get this offset here, so it should be. This is sort of like our AX and BX. We need to do a translation here of where we're combining it. So AX. We want to shift over by this amount, AX plus AY plus, and then the position we want to, it's going to be our BX minus BY minus. Is that right? I think I might have those reversed. That was definitely, maybe it. Let's increase our view radius here. Let's go back up to the corner. No, that didn't do it. We're wanting it to come off the top here. Yeah, we'll be doing a test-driven development. Did we do it the second Saturday of every month? We typically have a collab stream with the Grumpy Game Dev. So super fun times there. All right, if I do our AX, hang on. Or did I want to do a B? If we have. Hang on, BX, BY. We want to add it. Oh, I'm adding it at 3.7. Let's do. Oh, I'm merging it down at the bottom. This is incorrect. Oh, no. 2, 0, 2 is 0. 2, 0 is where we want to merge it. And then 3.7. I'm going to have to do some algebra, folks. I'm going to have to do some algebra here. So BX, BY should become the other one's AX, AY. So I'm gonna have to write this out on paper. We're almost out of time though. I gotta get to work, folks. I know. We'll be to be continued. To be continued. It's 8 o'clock here. I gotta get ready to go to work, folks. We're gonna rate Andreas Sastev again and see is Andreas still going. Twitch. Andreas Sastev trying to get 500 followers. Let's see how many followers Andreas Sastev. 496. We're gonna rate him again. Folks, be sure to give Andreas Sastev a follow. Trying to get to 500 followers. We're almost there. We're gonna keep coding. We're gonna keep growing. We're gonna keep being the best. We're gonna have a beautiful day, and we'll be back on Saturday, folks. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you next time. All right, hang tight. Bye-bye.